There is a quiet power that most people never discover. It is not found in the gym, not measured in muscle or speed, but it exists in a place far more formidable. It lives in the space between stimulus and response, in that single breath before you react, in the silence before you speak. This power is emotional discipline, and it is the rarest form of strength in the modern world. We live in an age where emotions rule everything. A single comment can ruin your day. A text message left unread can spiral you into anxiety. An insult can ignite rage that burns for hours. We are constantly triggered, constantly reactive, constantly at the mercy of our own feelings. But the Stoics understood something profound. They knew that true freedom does not come from controlling the world around you. It comes from controlling the world within you. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that you have power over your mind, not outside events, and that when you realize this, you will find strength. This is the foundation of emotional mastery, not suppression, not denial, but sovereignty over your inner kingdom. The first secret lies in understanding that your emotions are not facts. They are interpretations. When someone insults you, the insult itself is neutral. It is just sound, just words vibrating through air. What gives it power is your judgment. You decide it is offensive. You decide it diminishes you. Epictetus taught that people are not disturbed by things, but by the views they take of them. This revelation changes everything. If your emotions are judgments, then you can choose different judgments. You can reinterpret the event. The traffic jam is not a disaster. It is a moment to practice patience. The rejection is not a failure. It is redirection. The criticism is not an attack. It is information. When you grasp this, you stop being a slave to circumstance. You become the author of your own emotional experience. The world does not control you. Your interpretations do, and those you can change. The second secret is the art of the pause. In that fleeting moment between what happens and how you respond, your entire life can transform. Most people react instantly. They speak without thinking. They lash out when hurt. They defend when questioned. But the Stoic practices delay. Seneca advised that the greatest remedy for anger is delay, because time discloses the truth. When you feel the surge of emotion rising, whether it is anger, fear, or jealousy, you stop. You breathe. You create space. In that space, clarity emerges. You realize that the cutting reply you were about to send would damage a relationship. You see that the argument you were ready to start is not worth the energy. You understand that your reaction was about to create more suffering than the original event ever could. The pause is not weakness. It is mastery. It is the difference between being controlled by your emotions and using them as information. Train yourself to wait. Count to 10. Walk away. Sleep on it. In that sacred pause, you reclaim your power. The third secret demands radical honesty about control. Most emotional suffering comes from trying to control what cannot be controlled. You want someone to love you back. You want your work to be recognized. You want the world to be fair. And when these things do not happen, you suffer. But Epictetus drew a clear line. Some things are within our control, he said, and some things are not. Within your control are your thoughts, your actions, your responses, your effort, your character. Outside your control is almost everything else. Other people's opinions, the past, the future, the weather, the economy, death. When you waste emotional energy trying to control the uncontrollable, you guarantee your own misery. The Stoic focuses only on what is theirs to command. Did you do your best? Did you act with integrity? Did you respond with wisdom? If yes, then you have succeeded regardless of the outcome. This is liberation. You stop being a victim of circumstances and become an agent of your own character. You cannot control whether you get the job, but you can control how well you prepare. You cannot control whether someone forgives you, but you can control whether you apologize sincerely. Pour your energy only into your circle of control and watch your emotional chaos dissolve. The fourth secret is the transformation of adversity. Most people see obstacles as enemies. The Stoics saw them as teachers. Marcus Aurelius wrote that the impediment to action advances action, and that what stands in the way becomes the way. Every insult is a chance to practice patience. Every betrayal is an opportunity to learn discernment. Every failure is data for your next attempt. When you reframe pain as education, it loses its power to devastate you. You are no longer a victim of your circumstances. You are a student of life. Someone disrespects you? They have given you a chance to practice unshakable dignity. Someone breaks your heart? They have taught you about resilience and self-worth. You lose everything? You learn what truly matters. This does not mean you enjoy suffering. It means you refuse to let it be meaningless. The Stoic squeezes wisdom from every wound. They mine gold from every hardship. They understand that character is forged in fire, that the challenges you face today are sculpting the person you become tomorrow. Stop asking why this is happening to you. Start asking what this is teaching you. The fifth secret is the cultivation of inner stillness. In a world that never stops screaming for your attention, the ability to remain calm is a superpower. Notifications, deadlines, drama. Everyone wants a piece of your peace, and most people surrender it freely. They check their phone every 2 minutes. They absorb every piece of news. They engage with every provocation. But the Stoic builds a fortress of tranquility within. Seneca reminds us that nothing outside ourselves has power over us unless we give it permission. This means you can sit in chaos and remain centered. You can be surrounded by noise and stay silent. You can witness injustice and respond with measured wisdom instead of reactive rage. Stillness is not passivity. It is power in its purest form. It is the calm that makes others nervous because they cannot manipulate you. It is the clarity that sees through deception because your mind is not clouded by emotion. Practice stillness daily. In meditation, in silence, in solitude. Build it when times are easy so it is there when times are hard. A mind trained in stillness cannot be shaken. The sixth secret is detachment from validation. So much emotional turmoil comes from needing others to affirm you. You post something and anxiously check for likes. You speak and scan faces for approval. You live your life performing for an invisible audience that may not even care. Marcus Aurelius captured this perfectly when he wrote that it never ceases to amaze him how all men love themselves more than others, that they care more about the opinions of others than their own. This is the trap. You give away your emotional stability to people who are not thinking about you at all. The Stoic finds validation internally. They measure themselves against their own standards, not the crowd's applause. Did you live by your principles today? Were you honest, courageous, kind, disciplined? If yes, you have succeeded, regardless of who noticed. This does not mean you become arrogant or isolated. It means you stop being emotionally dependent on external approval. You stop shaping yourself to please others. You stop breaking your own heart trying to fit into spaces that were never meant for you. Your worth is not up for debate. It is inherent. And when you truly believe that, no one can take your peace. The seventh secret is the practice of daily reflection. Emotional discipline is not built in a single moment. It is built in thousands of small moments, examined and refined. Seneca advised that we should set aside time each day to review our actions, asking what bad habit we have cured, what vice we have resisted, in what respect we are better. This is not about self-punishment. It is about self-awareness. At the end of each day, sit with yourself. Where did you lose your temper? Where did you act from fear instead of courage? Where did you react instead of respond? Be honest. Be kind. Be relentless. This practice creates a feedback loop of growth. You catch your emotional patterns before they become habits. You notice your triggers before they control you. You become the observer of your own mind, and in that observation, you gain mastery. Write it down. Speak it aloud. Simply sit in silence and review. The method matters less than the consistency. Make this your daily training ground and watch yourself transform. Emotional discipline is not about becoming cold or unfeeling. It is not about suppressing your humanity or pretending pain does not exist. The Stoics were not robots. They loved deeply. They felt grief. They experienced joy, but they refused to be ruled by their emotions. They understood that feelings are valuable signals, not dictators. That you can acknowledge fear without obeying it. That you can feel anger without becoming it. That you can experience sadness without drowning in it. This is the difference between emotional suppression and emotional mastery. Suppression is a dam holding back a flood, always on the verge of breaking. Mastery is a river channeled into useful direction, powerful but controlled. When you build emotional discipline, you become untouchable. Not because nothing affects you, but because nothing controls you. You walk through chaos with calm. You face criticism without crumbling. You endure loss without losing yourself. You become the kind of person who cannot be provoked, manipulated, or shaken. And in a world designed to keep you reactive, that is the ultimate freedom. The Stoics left us a map. The journey is yours.